And we have the great Chad Weiske. Look at that beautiful view. I figured that while we wait for people, we just contemplate that beautiful view. But today is not going to be about this beautiful view. Today it's going to be about music marketing. Not just music, but music marketing. That's what today will be about. I am waiting for the person who I will be talking with today. And we have the sugar in what will be today a conversation about music marketing. That's right. Hold on to your butts. We're about to market music. And we have the amazing Shari. Oui, oui, Shari. Mademoiselle. And today we're going to be talking about music, but not just music. Music marketing. Don't you just love that word? Marketing. See, as soon as I say that, everyone starts to leave. Let's see. Where is the person? I'm waiting for this person who's going to give me a little bit of feedback on my ability to market music. Why is Chad Weiske puking? Oh my God, I just realized this is not, let me see, I want to put the phone here next to the piano, but there is no way. Oh, maybe if I do it like this. Maybe if I do it like this. See, because music can't all be pretty sounds. Music can't just be marketing. Music can't just be interesting sounds and having fun with sounds. Music, it's also about the marketing. And today we are going to put the marketing in music marketing. You know what I'm saying? You know? It can all be, oh, inspiration, oh, yearly morning. It has to be yearly marketing. How am I going to get this music out into the ears of unsuspecting people? And again, I want to thank Chad and Shari for sticking with me. Wow. Right? I don't know why my guest isn't showing up. Let's give it a couple minutes. Let's give it a couple minutes. In the meantime, if you want, we can play some music. If you want. And if you don't want, that's fine. You can also come up here if you want to request go on the live. Actually, that would be interesting because I've seen Chad, but I've never seen Shari. You want to come on the live? You can come on the live. Or not. I mean, this is what we're doing right now. Marketing. Let me see. Chad Weiske sent a request. Okay, let's view the request. didn't book this event. Sure, your agent. Yes. And we have the great Chad Weiske.
Hi.
Mr. Weiske.
Hi.
What could you tell us about marketing?
It's a nightmare.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a nightmare live stream.
Just because of that, right? Just because of the marketing part.
Yeah, marketing to me makes no sense.
No sense. Why? Why doesn't it make sense? Tell me. I want.
Because I don't know. It just, to me, it's like, it's just referring to creative ways of getting it in front of somebody.
Yeah.
So, which sounds like it should be really fun to be creative in that capacity.
Right. Yeah.
But it does sound like I just tune out, because it sounds like somebody's trying to give me an MBA, and I'm like, I don't want to study business in college. I'd rather study something that's a little bit more like not provocative, but engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, a business degree is the least engaging pursuit of academia ever, I think. It's very uninteresting. What are you studying? Business? Conversation ender.
But we don't conversation. Business. Okay, right. Finally we have Nola Deaf Child, the person in question. Finally. Let's bring her. Wait, let's bring her up. Let's bring her up because I want to see what she can tell us. So chat right here.
I want to allow this to happen. I want to allow this to happen.
Please allow it. Yes.
How's it going?
Hi, Nola Deaf Child.
How are you?
How are you?
Great. We're just two musicians here trying to figure out and navigate the complicated world of marketing.
I mean, that's what I do all day, every day. I love marketing, and actually, like, y'all need to, I feel like I yell at musicians all the time because I'm like, most marketers do free consultations where we just give you a bunch of free shit and trying to convince you that we're great. I'm like, you can just go marketing shopping and just get a bunch of free advice. Just go book consultation. I'm just kidding, but, you know, it's a strategy. I can see you're talking, but are you muted?
Oh.
Yes.
I'm reading your lips,
yeah, I'm totally muted. How can it be fun was my question.
How can it be fun?
Right. I think just before you popped in, we had said that marketing, like a bare minimum, is a creative way of getting your stuff in front of other people. So that sounds like it should be fun. On the other hand, the vocabulary and language, I tune out.
Oh, that's why you're not doing well. I'm just kidding. That was rude.
Sure.
No,
sure.
The vocabulary and the annoying acronyms, you know what those are? Those tell you how to make money back when you spend money. So would you drive a car and you didn't have a speedometer? Would you trust that vehicle if you did not have a speedometer? You couldn't tell how fast you were going?
Are you trying to say that, like, if you are not making measurements, you don't know what you're doing? Right.
I have an espresso machine. I just made myself a little cappuccino latte thing.
Oh, delicious.
I'm jealous. I've got a little black puddle.
I did hazelnut today. A little extra foam. Anywho, yeah, so the whole thing of marketing funnels, and it's actually great because this is where the fun part comes in. So like when you go into a store, I know you guys are men, but I'm gonna use Victoria's Secret as an example because they actually have a really good sales funnel. So when you go into Victoria's Secret, they have like 4 different people, but 4 different people will come up to you, but they're each trained to say something different to you. Like if you have 4 people coming up to you like, hey, can I help you? You're gonna be like, no, go away, because I know how to fuck to look. But sorry. But so no, what they do
Don't
is
apologize.
the first person.
Keep going. This is great.
The first person you walk in, they say, hey, how are you? These are our deals. They let you know where is the percentage is off. They let you know where the free shit is. And you're just like, oh, sweet. Then you go to free shit. You go to the cheap shit. And you go over there and people are like, do you want to try this on? Do you need different sizes? Do you know where the dressing room is? You know, and you're like, you know what? I'm actually going to try this on. All right. And then, like, whenever you're, like, checking out, they're like, oh, do you want a percentage off if we give you our email, if you give us our email address or whatever? You're just like, yep, there's that. I want that. And then when you get home, you get an email, you got a coupon. Go back in the store, you get a percentage off, right? So that's an example of the marketing funnel. The first one, when they're letting you know about the discount, that's awareness. That's getting attention. Whenever you decide, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go where the discount is, like you go start looking, that's interest. That's when you're considering. And then whenever you're just like up in the dressing room, you're making choices. That's decision. You're taking action. You're trying things on. You're gonna go buy that. When you go buy it, that's a conversion. And a conversion can be anything you want. Sometimes the conversion is an email sign up. Sometimes the conversion is getting someone to a free show. And then once, they've checked out, you send them other emails, that's post-purchase. That's retaining them. That's engagement. So it's very similar like that. And what a lot of people don't do, that's literally, so I noticed on Ron's website, for example, he doesn't have a Facebook pixel. He doesn't have Google Analytics. And those 2 things alone, right there, when you have a Facebook pixel and Google Analytics, you're going to be able to, so Facebook pixel, you can connect your website to the Facebook pixel, and then everything you sell can be connected via a catalog. Like, you can put your music up in your Facebook shop, in your website shop. You could put, tickets to events. You could have, whatever needs to be there. Then that can go into a catalog that gets connected to your Facebook. And then it'll show up on your Facebook for free, like a shop. Like, how when clothing stores have a free, a shop on their Facebook and you can see all of their stuff. Like, if you do that with your merchandise, including your CDs, you can do the same thing. And you can do it digitally as well. And then another thing is sending someone the right message at the right time. That's where exclusions come into play. If you're running Facebook ads, not enough people know how to use an exclusion. That's so that way, if somebody has already bought a ticket to your show, you're not sending them more ads to go to buy a ticket to your show, because why are you going to waste more money, for example? Or it's like if somebody has never heard of you before, you could make the decisions about whether to include or exclude them, but I would keep that for a bottom funnel expense. So that's another thing. A lot of people, when they're just doing shows, they spend all of their money on a bottom funnel ad. They don't divide their marketing into top, middle, or bottom funnel. And then they have a really low return on ad spend because you're paying a lot of money to reach people who have no fucking clue who you are.
And might not care.
Exactly.
Right.
And you don't know if they are interested or not. So what top of funnel does is when you do a funnel for a campaign, what it does is the top of funnel lets people know about you, who you are, and that's where you can be really creative because you're not trying to sell them shit. Your only job is getting their attention. So that's when you're your most creative self in a way. And then with that, people who engage with that only is who you want to run your next ad to. And that is where an exclusion comes into play. And it'll depend on how you set it up. So that's your middle funnel. And when your middle funnel ad, your only goal there is to get their information or to get them to maintain a longer investment with you, is to acquire the lead. And that's where marketing ends easily, because marketing's only job is awareness and acquisition. And that means that so that means you want them to come to your website. For example, if you're selling a ticket, and I'm being vague because we could be selling anything. So let me be specific with an example. Say you're trying to sell a ticket to a show. So you're trying to sell a ticket to your show. Your top of funnel awareness could be the best performing music video you've ever put out. Choose that, for example, if you don't feel like creating anything new. And so people who engage with that music video, you're only looking to get views on the music video. And then once you get views on the music video, your middle funnel, you're only running to that. You're only going to run a link to your next show, for example, for buying tickets, pre-sales. If you're in New Orleans, though, you're really not going to sell pre-sales. I don't know how it is there, but people do not buy pre-sales unless you're with like a fucking celebrity. So you know what? Let's do album sales instead, or merch sales. And then with like that being said, so for people who click on your website only and are interested only, that would be your bottom funnel. Those are people who have taken the time to view your website, to look at your music video. They're taking the time to go to your website, for example, or you could send them to your page if you want more page likes. You know, like,
is the quality of the art irrelevant for doing? It seems like it's totally it's assumed that the quality is sufficient, that this is worth time for anybody else taking up these steps, right? Like I would think, okay, if it's good, people will want to re-listen to it, right? And then hopefully there's an organic conversion that just happens out there in the world without me having done any of this stuff that we're talking about. But what you're talking about, it assumes this sufficient quality that's...
Not necessarily. Because here, for example, on TikTok, I have one video, 15,500 views, 1,700 likes, 600 comments. It's just me singing. No high quality. I'm not even a good singer.
Well, then what's going on in the video though? You know what I mean? And that
no. I made a parody to Proud Mary about the Alabama Brawl.
That factors into this quality.
In the river.
But that would
the music is
factor into the perceived quality.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Sure. That's what I'm saying. Like whatever it is, like it to whoever, it needs to be perceived as good enough for all of these other things to be worth doing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, for it to keep going down the funnel.
So
otherwise, you're an industry.
I mean, you just paid. Oh wait, is someone else talking? I'm high.
No, that was you.
My bad.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
No, you know
otherwise, you're an
what it is? I figured it out. I really looked, and you're delayed. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you again. Okay,
No,
what?
Dave, you're fine.
Yeah. Fucking right. So I was like, okay, cool. What the fuck did you say? I'm sorry.
So I was going to ask, so for example, this show that I'm trying to promote. I'm trying to promote a show that is very particular. I think the strengths of the show are that it's a very unique type of event. It's going to be mostly solo piano music, mostly improvised, and it's going to have a factor of audience participation, because what I do is that I ask the audience for a melody, a popular melody preferably. It can be Mary Had a Little Lamb, and with that melody, I will improvise a whole piece of music. So the audience plays a key role in what the direction of the show is going to be. And also, in addition to music, there's going to be stand-up comedians. So it's going to be a combination of music with comedy. And we do these shows at a space in Manhattan. A student of mine has this nice big apartment in the NYU area, and it has like a nice patio, and we're going to do the show there. So what I was thinking was to try to promote it. He can get a fair amount of people, and his people are willing to pay $20 admission, but I don't think that I can find more than one person at most that's going to pay for that. So what I was doing...
Ron, you got 3 right here in this room right now.
Yeah, 2 of them are not in New York. I don't know if Nola Deathchild is in New York. Are you in New York?
Orleans.
In New Orleans, right. None of you are in New York, so that's the other thing. We're very limited to the audience in New York, because I know a lot of people, maybe you guys would go, but you're not in New York. I got a lot of friends who are not in New York, so they're not going to come. So I'm very limited by the amount of people in New York. So my plan was to offer a $5 discount to anyone who purchased the ticket who online, who did like a reservation and purchased it online on my website. And that's what we're going to do this month, but we had to cancel it because everyone's out of town this month. So we're going to postpone it for the fall. But that's basically my plan. On my website.
That's good postponing it, because I like to give events 3 months to market anyway if I'm going to market them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's another thing. I feel like people don't give themselves enough. I hate the music industry, because in the music industry there's all this pressure to just book as many events as you can. But if you are one person, you cannot physically do all the marketing it takes to build up all of those events that you have to set yourself onto. So if you do less events, get one of those successful, and then use that to build on that, then it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, so with that, I feel like local events, street teamwork, obviously always do a really good job. For me, locally, I always, whenever I have a niche jazz event, I usually go for Loyola's campus, and then Loyola has what's called Music Industry Forum. And I went to Loyola, so I know this. But in the forum, you just email them when your shows are happening, and they put it up on a big-ass projector in front of the entire music industry department every Monday.
Okay.
And everybody in the entire music industry department has to attend. So, like if you go do street teamwork in New York, there's a lot of jazz programs. I have friends in New York City. Well, the apartment, but one of them's in a wheelchair, and they're a couple. Well, and they're trans. Is this a trans-friendly event? And would it be accommodating for someone in a wheelchair? Because I could probably convince 2 people to show up.
Well, it's probably is. I mean, if the building is.
If the building is wheelchair accessible, let me know. If not, let me see them. I'm just kidding. Well, there's a lot of places that aren't, so you always have to check.
I think it's like literally in the laws, right? It has to be.
Like ADA?
Yeah.
No, so I've actually been doing a lot of content on the ADA because I'm hard of hearing. I'm deaf. So with the ADAs actually could potentially be gutted. There's a case in the Supreme Court right now. There's a blind woman who also has physical disabilities and needs a wheelchair. Her job is to test places to see if they accommodate for the ADA. Well, as part of her job, she initiated a lawsuit against a hotel for not accommodating people with disabilities. And then, yeah, that got put into the Supreme Court. And what they're trying to argue is that someone who tests for the ADA should not be allowed to determine if something is accessible for disabled people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ron.
No, the ADA already has loopholes. It's very similar to the 13th Amendment. There's exceptions. Anywho, sorry. I've done a bunch of content on that, though.
Yes. I've seen some of it. Very interesting.
Play music.
Well, that's not what we're here for.
Oh, it's not?
Hold on. We're not playing music. We're talking about music marketing.
Kick me out.
No, but for real, where were we? You were talking about your show. So your show, fucking, do you guys have like past performances or like
Yeah.
I don't know what content library you have from working with. I would use snippets of maybe not too much of anything that's going to be in the current show because you don't want to give too much away. But I would
No,
give
actually, we've done previous shows, but they've all been different. So none of the stuff that I have is going to be in the actual show. So that's good because
yeah.
there's not going to be.
You can use your past footage for content to get
So because
people.
maybe because so Ron, you're saying that stuff you've done in the past does not paint an accurate picture of what you're trying to do with this event. Therefore, like, do you, like, your question to yourself might be, do I need to make a video explaining what people are in store for so that way that can be what, you know, communicates what it's about?
If it's a montage, if you've done several and you have a montage of like 3 to 4, and you can do like a little mashup montage to show the variations in the events and say, do you want to see the next new one kind of thing? People would be really into the idea of being the very first people to see the next new thing before anybody else gets to see it.
I would think, for example, since this show is going to be mostly about improvisation and a lot of it is going to be audience participation, providing melodies for me to improvise, I could do like a little trailer video that had some footage from things that I've uploaded here on my Instagram account, which are solo improvisations on like a theme, like a particular melody, so as to show this is more or less what it's going to be about.
So the beautiful thing about marketing is you could do that for free, right? That could be your top of funnel, make that completely free. You could send them, and then you could run an ad. If you had your Google Analytics and your Facebook Pixel installed, you could run an ad to only people who have visited your website and no one else. So you're not wasting money on people who don't already know who you are. You know what I mean? And that's middle funnel, right?
How would that? So it would run an ad?
I can explain to you how to do it in a consultation.
Okay.
I do free strategy sessions.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. I'll send you a fucking step-by-step link from Facebook. Like, we'll Google that shit and I'll send the link to you. But no. So your Facebook pixel is a snippet of code, and it's actually called Pixel CAPI Conversion API. And what it does, dude, it's actually amazing. So with your middle funnel, your only goal would be to get traffic, right? To get people who have involved. Well, with your bottom funnel, you can literally run an ad, and it uses sales conversion. And Facebook will then choose people who have visited your website that, based on their user behavior, they will then run the ad to people who have made purchases on Facebook similar to your website. So you can find people who are shopping, already spending money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what you do with Facebook Pixel. So what Facebook Pixel does, like, have you ever gone to a website and then you go on your phone and their Facebook Pixel is on your Facebook ad is on your phone?
Oh, you mean what I have is like I'll look something up on the internet and then my phone will show me an ad for a product like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what happens when your Google ads. So if your Google Analytics and your Facebook Pixel are all connected, your Facebook Pixel gets connected to your Google Analytics, right? And then your Google Analytics, that gets connected to your Google Ads. And with your Google Ads, you can run ads to people who have visited to you on Google. You can then use your Facebook Analytics and Pixel information. It'll share data. So you can either run ads on Google to people who came to you from Facebook, or you can run ads on Facebook from Google. You know what I mean?
And would that make sense for someone like me who has very few followers, who's just getting started?
If you start Google ads right, then there is never a bad return on investment, because what you do is you use what's called high intent keywords. So you set it up so you only pay if someone clicks on your site. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so if you do that, and if you have the right caps on, so you're like, you do the math, for example, if you have a $10 CD or offer, like Like you think of what your average order value is, or what is the cost of your offer. Like you have a $20 ebook, you do the math for what would give you a 4-to-1 return on ad spend. So if it's a $20 ebook, I'm pretty sure you don't want to spend more than $4 per person if you want a 2-to-1 return on ad spend, if that makes sense. Because like 4 times 2 is 8, and 8, you know, yeah. So 4-to-1 return on ad spend, like if you do 4x plus x equals the value of your offer, you can figure out what amount would give you $4 back for every $1 you spend.
Okay.
And that's just so you don't overspend. That's another thing people don't do is like with the math. All that does is help you, and I can break this all down for you like in a consultation too. And I'll do a free strategy session. Like I do free strategy sessions, and I have a webinar coming up on September 9th.
Okay.
But you do that. That's the biggest thing. So people will be spending $20. Like sometimes people run ads, they don't do any cost caps, and they'll be spending $20, and they're not even selling something worth $20.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing people don't do right. Yeah. And then
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like if you had your Facebook pixel connected, that's like going to be your biggest problem solver alone. Just being able to literally, you can do most of your strategy would be free. And then the money you spend would just be the people who are already going to your website. So that way you're not wasting any money on people who are not interested in you.
Okay. Google Analytics. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
Oh,
Wait, is this?
okay. I noticed you didn't have any rich data on your website. And my favorite form of rich data is a snippet of code called JSON-LD. And it's
Rich data?
rich data.
What is it?
So rich data is actually like, you know how the band is called the band? And it's just a fucking band? That's what JavaScript object notation linked data is, okay? So the code is JavaScript. We already know that's just the regular code. So object notation linked data. What it does is on your metadata, for example, Google doesn't know like what human context is. So when it comes to like an apple, it doesn't know if you're talking about a fruit or a computer. And so what JSON-LD does is it tells Google, hey, this is the fruit. Hey, this is about the computer. So it gives it human context. So Google can then connect human intent to your site. And there's also, what it does, it helps you get found in featured snippets. So like, if you Google enablism, 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 I'll come up first. If you Google legal issues in the music industry, I'm relatively up there. If you Google like communication relativity theory, I'm up there.
Okay.
So the way I got into those like upward spots in Google search is through JSON-LD. It's rich data. It's what helps you get found more in search engines because it connects queries to your site. And
so like if I wanna, so like if I wanna have my name pop up when people look up improvisation, music improvisation, things like that.
Yeah.
Or classical improvisation.
So you can use keyword planners to find out the difficulty of what it would cost to rank for something, and that will also tell you what those keywords cost if you run an ad for those keywords, so you know how much you're spending on your ads too. What if you use Google for ads?
Are you able to implement JSON-LD code with a WordPress or Squarespace, and like how does that actually make it in? Is it metadata in the asset that you're uploading and you're having there? Is it commented code?
Use Wix.
Okay.
But you can do this with Squarespace, or you can do this with Squarespace, or you go away, motherfucker. Or you can do this with sorry, I don't know why I'm like this. You can do this with Squarespace, or you can do this with fucking Wix, WordPress, anything. You can do this any way you want. Let's see. Sorry, I'm not the best multitasker, but that's
It's
fine.
okay.
So
Apologize.
me neither.
Apologize later.
I am an over apologizer. So here in Wix, you do it in your advanced SEO. So rich data is also known as structured data. Let's see. I think I put mine. There are different places in Wix that you can put your fucking code. Let's see, where the fuck did I put my shit? There it is. Okay. I put mine here. There it is. Okay, so I'll put my main site JSON-LD right here.
Okay.
So this is what it looks like. So I don't know why I can't make that bigger, but that's fine. So this is where I put it in my site for the header, for the entire site page. And then, okay, I have an ebook, and in my ebook, I actually fucking put this in here for free. Page 25. Okay, cool. Ding, 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 ding. All right, here it is. Okay, so in the page, so what it does is you put your name, put your business name. So with the same ad, it'll connect you can put all of your links into your JSON site header. And what it does is it tells Google that you are the same person as these people, as yourself. Right, as all of your profiles. On the knows about, it describes what the writers of the page knows about. So that's what gives Google context of what the entire page and site will be about. Then you can do one for your brand and slogan. So the knows about will be specific to the web page. And then brand and slogan will give them information about your entire business. You can choose whether or not to include, I don't include my direct address, so you can take out lines that you don't want in there, but then you could put your region to show up more in specific geographical areas. And then the search action function, this one has a couple of different ways you can use it, but what it does is you can literally tell Google when someone searches specific queries, you want them to find this page. This is the target. So that's what that one's really beneficial for. That can help you get found in featured snippets for specific keyword queries. And yeah, it takes some time. It's not going to happen overnight too. But yeah, and then the area served is where I put the main area served, and then your opening hours and stuff. It takes 3 to 6 months to start ranking because whoever's on there longer gets ranked more. But yeah, no, I love it. So yeah, so all of that, and you can Google too, just JSON-LD or rich data to find different versions. But all it does is it tells Google hey, link these ideas to me.
It's kind of like the hashtag kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is not stuff that's visible on your page. It's just
I know.
It's the functioning of it within an SEO kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And here's the kicker: you can only put for the knows about section and the search action section with the query keywords. You can only put shit on there that you actually have on your website. So you can't just keyword stuff your JSON-LD code for shit that's not actually on your site just to try and be found for things. That'll get you penalized, you know? So you do have to actually connect it to what's on the front of the page, but does not show up there.
Okay.
You have to connect it to what's on the front of your website. Oh, no. Okay, I did hear correct.
So
yeah.
You're saying like it needs to be in the header of the landing page.
Yeah, it goes in the header of your site.
Right.
And of any landing, it can go in any, you can either put it in the entire site overall or just on one page. Or so what I do is, like the part with the same as part where you have all those links, it would be really annoying if you had to go to every single web page on your site and update that every time you change something on another link or you add a new link, right? So what I do is I put that shit in my header. So it goes to all of my site. And then have a simpler page one that I do with just a search action. So that way it helps boost those specific pages in SEO. But I don't have to go through and change it every single time. If I add or take away a new page, I can just do one place.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So I use both.
And this is something that you pay for to get your.
It's free.
It's free?
No, it's the way that you script like information. And so like so JavaScript is the language which allows it to be like, so it's a script, so it's dynamic, if I'm understanding that correctly. So yeah, like,
well, in terms of scripts, static and dynamic, in terms of coding, dynamic would typically mean that it changes on its own, and static means you manually update it, so it would be considered static.
Okay.
Right. So theoretically,
okay, yeah.
So theoretically speaking, if I wanted to start marketing myself as the new guy that's doing his
No, you're not a new guy. You're not a new guy though. I don't want you to. That's not your jumping off point. That's not. I'm just some new guy. No.
The guy.
No.
We're just asking questions. Don't worry. I wanted to start promoting myself as the guy whose shtick is, give me a melody and I will improvise a whole piece on it. And that's gonna be my thing. And I'm gonna start creating Instagram and YouTube videos, and I'm gonna put stuff like that on the front page of my website. And then with the rich data, I could make it so that if you Google piano improvisation or classical improvisation, that would appear near the top, somewhere between the first 5-10 results, something like that.
Yeah, I think it would be easier to get found for piano improvisation in New York than piano improvisation alone.
Right. Yeah, make it more local.
Yeah, but I don't know, but that's the idea. And you can look, if you go to a keyword planner, it'll tell you what the difficulty is of a keyword you're trying to rank for it. So there's a high and low thing with that. I go for a mix because with the higher ranking, with the difficulty high, there's more difficult keywords to rank for. Well, they're usually the more expensive ones, but that's usually where the highest traffic is. But that's why it's more difficult to rank for it, because other people are already, bidding for it. Every now and then you get a high traffic keyword that is low difficulty because for some reason people just haven't hopped on that yet. So that's always a gold mine. If you ever see high traffic, low difficulty, hell yeah, use the fuck out of that. Because that means a lot of people are searching for it, but they're not getting many results yet.
Of course.
Yeah, but those are rare. And that's usually like with like for one split second after Chat GPT came out, it was really easy to rank for AI, for example, but now it's hard to.
Yeah.
And I think with kind of getting back within music on that point is that when all of a sudden we start to hear like this new like genre, where people just pulled this genre word out of their ass, like hyper pop or whatever, right? Like all one word. And so that term, because it's a string, it's unbroken, like that early on hadn't really been used. So the artists that were on this like early arc of like hyper pop maybe 5 years ago, somebody decided to use that to market themselves, and then in this whole thing that we're kind of talking about, this is how that functions. So words like, you know, like whatever, like you, because you're not
Jamtronica.
yeah,
Baby
exactly.
metal.
Exactly, right? Like what are people looking for, and what actually applies to Ron is kind of like what needs to be a part of like how you jump off and start talking about what you're doing, right? Like not just some guy who, you know, is a classical jazz pianist, because every single word that came out of my mouth right there is so bland and so overused that like there is something that is going on in the world that Ron is also a part of, because we're all like, you know, living in 2023 in August, right? There's something that is out there that Ron can co-opt.
Co-op?
Yeah. You don't have to make up a word, because again, it doesn't also have that high traffic yet.
Yeah, I don't.
You can call it improv jazz. I'm just kidding.
Whatever people are actually searching for, but aren't really getting the what was the, how did you say it, like a high traffic but what?
High traffic, but low difficulty to rank for. So when you start, if you go to any Google free keyword planner, and like something like WordStream or Ahrefs or maybe Neil Patel's Uber Suggest is going to come up, and when you start clicking on one of those, they're going to tell you, like, you can type in, you know, like a keyword, or you can type in a website and it'll give you different keyword ideas based on the website that you type in. But you type in like a keyword and then it'll tell you what is the difficulty of that keyword. Or if you type in a topic, it'll tell you, like, give you a list of keywords relevant to it. It'll tell you, like, what is the difficulty, what is the traffic level, and what is the cost.
Okay. I'm taking some notes here. I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. I have my one of my best friends. He's the guy who's designed my website, and I can also discuss this in depth with him. He probably also knows a lot about this.
How is this different than having these words in some bio that is like that renders on this page?
So the difference would be the way Google crawls the information. So Google has these bots that crawl your site, that rank everything, but it doesn't read every word on your site. Ain't nobody got time for that. So
Right.
what this does is tells Google, pay attention to this shit, bitch. All right?
Right.
Don't skip
And
over this fucking shit.
And that's
Look
why
at
we're
me,
in
notice me,
JSON.
tell me I'm mm-hmm.
Because that adapts it and gives the context to the crawler.
Yes, because the bots aren't going to read every single thing
Of course
on your
not.
site.
That and intuition follows there. That makes total sense. So that we need to incorporate it in some format that's not human legible in the page that people see. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it also, like, you're putting stuff in your like when you change the difference between like header 1, header 2, and paragraph, like it will read that. So that and like your alt text on your images and things like that, it will read that. But sometimes, you know, if you want to rank for a certain thing, but you still want your site to say certain things, you don't want to change your header just to rank for a word. You can put it in the back of your code.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just really, and that's like I want to show you guys, get you guys on marketing a sales funnel, man. Like, let's see here. Hold up. You know what? I got a visual. All right, here we go. So
what a productive day, Ron.
That's right, huh? Quite productive,
so,
because from here I gotta go to the bank. What is?
Oh, really? Oh, you could take that to the bank.
Literally.
So the thing about marketing funnels, so this is what I was telling you about with the top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel. Attention, interest, desire, action, right? And this is what I was telling you guys with the money. So this is the cost of your offer should equal your return on ad spend times your cost per acquisition plus your cost per acquisition. So 4x plus 4x plus x is what's going to help you decide how to get a 4-to-1 return on ad spend. Is what the fuck I'm telling you.
So is that a
PDF? Yeah, there's a PDF.
Is that something you'd be willing to forward to Ron?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I have it on the website.
Okay, so yeah, I'd be happy to skim that.
Yeah, so the first 3 pages are actually helpful, and the last 3 pages are like, buy my shit, motherfucker.
Right on.
Motherfucker.
Cool.
I am like this. Yeah, I'll send that to you guys.
So, oh, there it is.
What happened?
I dropped it.
You okay?
It was okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. We were dropped. We're picked up again.
Here we are. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Are you a label? Because we just felt like we were picked up and dropped.
I'm dropping my next record.
Right.
But yeah, no, dude, it's really just about thinking about budget, authority, need, and time. Who has a budget? Who is going to be making decisions, and who has the time? Like, it'd be great. You're going to put that Facebook pixel. I'm going to send you guys information about this, the Facebook pixel, and Google Analytics. Google Analytics is amazing. Hold on. I don't even know about Google Analytics. I can't believe this shit.
That's right. All I know is notes.
What, Google Notes?
Yeah, Google Notes. This one goes to T-Boss. Hey, buddy.
I mostly do invoicing these days, so I have made more sales, but it doesn't show up for that. So it's going to tell you where are people going on your pages, so you're going to be able to figure out exactly where all of your money is coming from. So the user acquisition, I can see exactly where everyone is coming from. YouTube, Facebook, Linktree, Facebook. So this tells me what's working and what's not. When you run ads, you need an ad on your ads. Let's see. I haven't run ads in a minute. When the fuck did I last run ads? When you run ads, you can add what's called a UTM tracking parameter, and it'll tell you whether or not, shit, when the fuck did I run ads? Was that April? I totally ran ads in April.
When was it?
There it is. Okay, it'll tell you where your ads are coming from. So you can see what's working and what's not. And then you can tell the difference between your paid ads and your organic ads. And you can so that way you'll know, like, okay, is my paid marketing or is like what's performing better? And you can even go by time of the day or hour and see like what time people are coming in from, so you know what's working best. That's another thing.
When we're talking about ads, are you talking, because I'm picturing in my head YouTube ads, but are you talking in a more general sense? If so,
sponsored content in people's feeds, like when you're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or on Facebook on their news feed. So
like
definitely things like that within social. But probably other things.
I was talking about all forms. I was telling y'all you can see the difference between your free marketing, like your free advertising, what you're doing with your regular social media posting, and what you pay for. And then you can see, like, I post in different groups, for example, but you can then use your UTM tracking parameters to create little URL links, so you can see, like, for example, what Facebook groups are actually buying from you. So you stop posting in groups you don't care about, you keep posting in groups you do. For example, you can see, like, on your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, which one of these are giving you the highest return on investment. Like, so Facebook, I get the most music sales if I'm selling tickets to a show. LinkedIn, I always get the most webinar signups if I have to do a webinar. Instagram, I did what was called a digital art exhibit, and that's where I sold the most of that. And then, yeah, so like every platform I've had, a different item has sold best there. right? So you can do that to figure out, okay, what's selling best where, and you can invest more of your resources to getting a better return on ad spend. You know, it's like you need money and you don't want to waste resources. You're not going to be continuing to post in a group that doesn't want to buy from you.
Right. Yeah.
And here's another thing. So the average ad gets a 1 or 2% conversion rate, no matter what. And that's another thing people don't account for. So that's why everything on Facebook is measured in 10,000 impressions, because you need 10,000 impressions per sale. So if you have a 1% conversion rate, that means 1 out of every 100 people that sees you is going to buy from you. So you need 100 people to look at you just to, for example, click on your website. Then you need another, for every 100 people that then click on your website, only 1 of them will then buy. For example, the worst you can do. So if you always calculate like your money and you take into account like I'm going to have a 1% conversion rate at every step, you won't overspend.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and if you are ever running ads on Facebook, yeah, people don't know how to set up like your return on ad spend cost, your cost per result cap. So that what the cost per result cap is for, you're never gonna, you can, depending on what you're running the ad for, if it's like a click or whatever, you can expect to spend at least $1 cost per click tops. So I never set that below $1, because then you're gonna only pay for lower quality leads, because the cheaper leads are usually leads Facebook doesn't think's actually gonna buy. So yeah, so I usually set my cost per result goal for $1, and then I control how quickly I'm spending that money, how many leads I'm getting, by what is my campaign budget, what is my overall budget. And that'll control how many leads you get in a day. So if my cost per result is set at $1 and I put a daily budget of $100, I know I'll get at least 1 lead in that one day, for example, because it's going to cost $1 per click tops. And with awareness, you're going to spend more money to acquire new leads who don't know you than it is to convince someone who does know you to buy from you again. So whenever you see a marketer share a screenshot of like, oh, I have a 2-cent cost per click and I'm making all of these sales and look how great that ad is doing, that's usually a bottom funnel ad they're showing you. And so what that means is an ad to people who know who you are. Oh, I can show you guys one more thing.
So you're saying because it's a bottom funnel thing, the numbers look a little bit better?
Yes.
Got it. It's not necessarily accurate to their like whole
their entire marketing
operation.
Budget. Yes, it's just one campaign.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the typical starter funnel of a marketing agency. So you have different levels. I was telling you guys, you have cold, warm, hot. That would be top, middle, bottom, remarketing. If that makes sense, right?
Right. Where it's like, hey, we noticed you bought this. We're going to send you more information about like other cool shit that you might also like, or whatever.
Right. So what people usually do when we're studying, so if you have a top of funnel ad, we're usually going for like video views, paid post engagement. So that's when you're just trying to get people to engage with your page, and conversion. And then with warm is conversion, traffic, and reach. So these are like when you go into Facebook, you have different campaign objectives, right? So these will be campaign objectives recommended based on the funnel you're at. And sometimes when I'm broke, I just don't pay for my cold funnel. I pay for people who don't know me. I focus on paying for middle and hot funnel. And I won't even pay for existing at that point. I'll focus on these 2 ads when I'm low on funds. So the exclusion part is what I was telling you. When you're running ads, exclusion is how you make sure no one sees your ad.
We apologize for the brief interruption. Let's see, where's Where is she? Okay, here we go. Okay, great. Let me bring you up. But I have to go soon anyway, so let's just wrap up the idea that you were talking about just now. And wait, what happened? Oh, there you are. Hey, I don't know why that happened because we did a live like a month ago and it was over an hour. It was like an hour and a half. But
I hate these things.
what
Yeah.
are you gonna do?
Well, I just wanted to wrap up the one thing I was saying with creative. For each stage of the funnel, there's also creative recommendations, and I'm gonna DM this to you. So for the top of funnel, people usually recommend, like, for any, your main focus is just to get their attention and give them value, and that's usually it. People usually don't try and go for a sell, because it's like a first date. You're just getting to know somebody, and then that's a third. You gotta wait until the third date. That's what it is. You gotta wait until the third date or the third time they reach out to you to ask for the sell. Second, and then with the middle funnel, what we usually do is like customer benefit.
Wait, I can't hear. Did it freeze? Oh no. Can anyone else hear her? On my side it froze. Oh, what? He got kicked out. Is Instagram conspiring against us today? Let me see. Let me bring you. Let me add you again. No, it is frozen. I'm requesting her again. Lost. Okay, there you are.
Yeah, so that's where like how you go to a music festival and then they do those recap videos after. That's what that would be like, for example. That's what that's for. Yeah. And then for that and hot would be more of like, okay, buy the merch because you were at the festival type thing. Or like that's where you say like, come buy the ticket. Like you saw how much fun we were having last time. Here's where you buy the ticket. And your main purpose with the bottom funnel is just to let them know how to buy your shit and make it as easy as possible for them to.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. You introduce yourself, you get them excited, you close the deal.
Get them gotta get them excited.
And a lot of people, they just try to close the deal without introducing themselves or getting them excited.
Yeah. I'm already like, this already gave me a couple ideas of things that I could do to like promote this idea. Like have people sing a melody on video and then I improvise a piece on it, and that way they're involved, they're part of the video. Of course, not everyone's gonna be comfortable with that because some people get very self-conscious singing, but
yeah. No, so when I did the throwing in the bitches in the river video, I was like, throwing bitches in the river, sing it with me. And then people duetted it, singing it with me.
Nice.
After I said sing it with me. Yeah. So there's definitely ways you can get people invited, and I feel like that's like a really good organic thing to do too. Is like just if you can get that to happen organically on social media, you're not gonna have a problem making sales.
Right. Yeah, I like that. Oops, sorry. That's the fun part for me for the getting to know. The big part of the funnel is just like ideas on how to get people involved so that they're participating, because I really like that. I don't like to feel like it's just me making stuff in the dark. I like to have like some kind of feedback. Someone's giving me a suggestion of a melody and then getting it rolling from there.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you could do possibly would be like a sing-along Sunday or something where you do like a little song and invite singers and songwriters to duet it, singing it with you.
Yeah.
Or writing their own version or doing something with you.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I like it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed chatting with you. I will talk forever. I know you said you had to go. Silence is golden, duct tape is silver.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Thank you so much. Well, let me see. It's chat. Oh yeah, chat's I guess Chad wants to say a final word before we wrap it up. But I have to wrap it up because I gotta go to the bank. On top of that, did you have some final words, Chad, before we leave?
No, I just wanted to say thank you. And
Good.
why is it so funny? Yeah.
I don't know.
Y'all are true.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. We absolutely are. But yeah. Thank you for breaking it down. That was well, at least some stuff down. It was on the verge of being like way too much information, which is cool.
Sorry.
So
Which
no.
is good.
Like thank you.
It's better. It's better too much information than too little.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because you press a button. I'm like that little. I just shut it back up.
It wasn't bad at all. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. And I hope you guys have a good day.
You too.
Totally. And the sign language is absolutely impeccable.
It's not, but thank you.
A, B, C, D, S, D, D, M.
No, I've always wanted to learn sign language.
I'm
That's
probably saying some
tornado.
like crazy shit.
Maybe one day.
Tornado?
Yeah.
Okay,
Or hurricane.
cool. Right.
Oh, tornado.
Wow.
This is tornado. This is hurricane.
Cool.
Oh, nice. All right. I'll see you
Yeah,
guys
be
next
safe.
Awesome.
time.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.